because there are many different levels of representation in this, be it from like family accepting son to, just seeing queer characters be portrayed authentically and not stereotypically.
Hi, Philemon. Thank you so much for joining Pop Culture today. How are you?
I am good. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
So we loved Single All the Way. It was very funny. It was different, but it also had all of the elements of an amazing Christmas movie. But for me, it was better. So you guys are definitely setting the standard. Obviously, we know that this is Netflix's first LGBTQ plus led movie, and it's a holiday flick at that. So do you feel the pressure, and did you feel pressure going into it to make sure that you at least did your job to contribute to it being an amazing film?
I didn't necessarily feel that pressure that you just put on me. No, I didn't. I would say I felt a responsibility for the character and also for the story, but also to my cast, like Michael Urie, Jennifer Coolidge, Jennifer Robertson, Kathy Najimy, Barry Bostwick. Everybody was so welcoming and so kind and just there if I needed them. We became like this big family where if I just needed, because this is my first like feature film debut, and especially doing a giant like Netflix and coming in with that, it does cause some pressure. But of course, like I've had people along the way to help me. So yes. I do feel a sense of responsibility, like I said, also for the representation aspect of it, because there are many different levels of representation in this, be it from like family accepting son to, just seeing queer characters be portrayed authentically and not stereotypically. So, yeah.
That was actually another question that I had, because I think that this film does a good job of representing a positive representation of same-sex relationships. And it really strays away from a lot of the stereotypical elements or some of the, I guess you can say, cons to certain people's experiences with not having that support. So we see family support, we see two men in successful careers. We also have the interracial love aspect. So Is that one of the reasons why you were attracted to the film?
Most definitely. When I got the script, I read it and I was taken aback because it was so different from anything that I read, especially from a queer man's perspective playing a queer character. Usually the ones that we get are very stereotypical. Oh, they want you to, kind of play up certain things. But this was just a story about two people going through life and their experience. And of course, me, myself, I grew up, my mother is white and my father is Black. So I grew up in that environment. And so for me, I just wanted to show what I've always lived with.
Well, you definitely did a good job of doing so. Now, typically, are you like a fan of like the holiday movie craze? I feel like there's always a fine line between classic and corny. And I think that you guys have really done a good job of making this a classic.
Yeah, we honestly, the cast is so brilliant. Again, Chad, who wrote it and believed in me to, have and take on Nick. I'm super, super grateful. But yeah, I am a big holiday person. As you can kind of see, I am a big holiday person. For me, I'm always into animation myself. Like I love like the Grinch or like anything in that realm. But also too, like the classics, like honestly, there's so many different classics. One that really does pop up into my head is the one my co-star kept on saying was the Muppets, their Christmas Carol. So anything like that, again, yeah, I'm a big holiday buff. Love the holidays.
And there were like some super funny moments in the movie like that did kind of play into, I don't want to give too much away, but that did kind of play into families. Ignorance is a strong word, but ignorance of and surrounding LGBTQ plus culture. So one of the scenes that was funny was when the aunt said something about, a mention of Grindr. There was another scene where Christmas Carol, you guys pull up and it said sleigh bells. So like all of those little moments were funny. Like, was there anything behind the scenes that the cast really could have input in and say, okay, this is something that's appropriate and funny? Like, was there a fine line there that you guys wanted to make sure you didn't cross?
Well, the beautiful part is Michael, Luke, our director, and also our writer, who is also our executive producer, we're all queer. So these conversations were had, and especially coming from a Black queer perspective, Chad, our writer, and also Michael Mayer, our director, were very much asking me questions. Even Joe Rice, our producer, was just asking me questions. Is this okay? What do you think about this? Can we add this in? How do you feel? So it was very much an open conversation and an open environment. And it was a really, really very light, wholehearted set that honestly, we had those conversations, but I mean, everything I felt was in its right. I do, you can, when you get rid of the homophobia of it all, you have so much room to play.
Now, what makes this film worth watching, do you think, for viewers?
I say that the film is worth watching because you get to see what it's like if people fully accept not only their kids, but their friends, people they may not even know. I think we come from a society where a lot of it is judgment and not true acceptance. And this movie, it has so many layers of love, so many layers of representation. Again, Black queer man playing a Black queer character. And I mean, even the stereotypes that are not being played into, it's just something that we have not seen. I've never seen it growing up. And now that it's being done, I feel like it is long overdue. But now that it's here, I am glad that, everybody can watch it. And I think that in itself, a lot of messages can be taken. But one that I want to stand out is just love, unconditional love.
And one of the things, my final question is, one of the things that I love about holiday films so much is that they basically just stand the test of time. Like, they're played over and over again. And then obviously with streaming on Netflix, you definitely have that shelf life. So are you excited to be a part of that whole genre of a film that will stand the test of time?
I am. It's, now that you mention it, the nerve wracking part, because that is a thing. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, we're going to be in like 190 countries and like 214 million homes. I'm very taken aback every day. I have pinch me moments. But yeah, I am glad to have something on Netflix, this giant, that people can go back and watch. That, it could be it could be 4th of July, and they're like, okay, you know what? Let's watch a rom-com.
Christmas in July. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So they can go back, they can watch it, and you can still get something from it each time. It just doesn't have to be. I don't feel like this is just a Christmas movie. I feel like this is a movie for the whole entire year. Well,
as I said, I thoroughly enjoyed the film. I got a good laugh out of it from start to finish. You guys did an amazing job, and I look forward to seeing what viewers have to say, like what the overall response is going to be. So thank you for your contribution, and again, thank you for speaking with PopCulture today.
Oh, not a problem. Thank you so much, Brenda, for having me at PopCulture. I appreciate it.